On September 7, 2025, a landmark Supreme Court ruling shook Washington, D.C., overturning former President Trump's broad tariffs on imports. The justices declared the president had exceeded constitutional limits by bypassing Congress on major economic decisions. This historic decision is a powerful reminder of checks and balances, reshaping the boundaries of presidential power for generations to come. To understand today's Supreme Court decision, let's rewind to the origins of these tariffs and why they sparked such fierce debate. Tariffs are taxes on foreign goods, meant to protect U.S. industries and encourage buying American, but they can also make everyday items more expensive. President Trump made tariffs a key part of his America First agenda, targeting billions in goods from China, Canada, Mexico, and the EU. This tough stance raised costs for businesses and families, leading to higher prices and tough choices for many Americans. The backlash led to lawsuits, with critics arguing the administration's tactics crossed legal lines. Now, the Supreme Court must decide: who really sets the rules on trade, Congress or the president? Small business owners, desperate to survive, joined forces with attorneys to challenge new tariffs. As shops closed and jobs vanished, states joined the fight, arguing Congress, not the president, controls trade. The lawsuit raced through federal courts, with a major win for the challengers. Judges ruled the president had overstepped, but the decision was put on hold, knowing the stakes were huge. The administration appealed to the Supreme Court, setting up a historic showdown over who truly holds the reins of America's economic future. The nation waited, knowing the verdict would shape not just trade, but the very framework of government. The Trump administration stood firm, claiming the tariffs were crucial for national security. Their defense? The IEEPA, a law empowering the president to act swiftly when the nation faces extraordinary threats. They argued that unfair trade practices put America's economic strength and security at risk. According to the administration, the president had to move fast. Waiting for Congress wasn't an option. Tariffs, they said, were vital weapons in the arsenal of foreign policy and national defense. They warned that overturning the tariffs could unravel trade agreements and trigger massive government refunds, straining the federal budget. In the end, they urged the court to give the president broad authority to tackle economic threats head-on. Their bottom line? In a complicated world, the president must have the power to defend America. Businesses, farmers, and state leaders stepped forward with a different perspective. They claimed the tariffs hit hard, driving up costs, shuttering markets, and throwing supply chains into chaos. At the heart of their argument, the Constitution puts Congress, not the president, in charge of taxes and trade. They insisted Trump's use of IEEPA twisted its purpose. It was meant for real emergencies, not as a tool for ongoing trade battles. The challengers leaned on the major questions doctrine, arguing that only Congress can make sweeping decisions unless the law is crystal clear. They cautioned that letting the president act alone on taxes would set a risky precedent. Their call was simple: restore the constitutional balance and shield Americans from executive overreach. This battle was bigger than tariffs. It was about safeguarding the checks and balances at the core of American democracy. Now it was up to the Supreme Court to answer a fundamental question: who truly controls the nation's economic destiny? In a landmark move, the Supreme Court checked presidential power, siding with those challenging the tariffs. The majority reminded everyone, only Congress can levy taxes and control foreign trade. In the end, the court reaffirmed the delicate balance of power. The Supreme Court's decision isn't just news, it's about to impact your wallet. With tariffs struck down, import taxes are gone, and businesses could see lower costs. That might mean cheaper prices at the store, but don't expect instant savings. One thing's certain, this ruling will touch every American's wallet. The Supreme Court's ruling isn't just a headline, it's a turning point that will shape the balance of power in Washington for years to come. With this decision, the court has drawn a bold line. Presidents can't sidestep Congress by invoking emergency powers on major economic matters. From now on, any sweeping moves like imposing tariffs will require direct approval from Congress. That means more open debate, more negotiation, and a much firmer check on what the president can do alone. Expect Congress to get more precise when writing laws, tightening the reins on presidential authority. For everyday Americans, this is a reminder that the biggest decisions should pass through the hands of their elected officials. The real impact of this case goes beyond trade. It's about how our government is built. In the end, it marks a defining chapter in the ongoing struggle between presidential power and congressional oversight.